Hello everyone! In this video, we will recommend the top 10 father and daughter relationship movies. If you enjoy this compilation of movies, don't forget to like and subscribe. Stay tuned until the end of the video and share your favorite film with us in the comments. Number 10. Touchless. Chelana, 18, is an object of her stepfather's desire. She is unable to cope, especially when her own mother turns a blind eye. Those events are heavily paid for when she finds herself working in a brothel. She works in a bordello, being treated badly, both by her clients and her boss Kleiner. She wants to break free from her stepfather and her work, but she doesn't know how. Her inability to cope raises a question. What is it she actually wants? Are her dreams of escaping really better than the reality she finds herself in? It remains unchanged until a man Richard shows up in her life. Number 9. That Lovely Girl. Tommy, Mayan Turgeman, and Moshe, Tsahigrad, are an extremely unusual couple for several reasons. The most obvious is their age difference. Moshe is almost 60 years old, and Tommy is in her early 20s. They live together in Tel Aviv and lead a seemingly normal life. Moshe works during the day, and Tommy manages the household. Although their relationship is based on love, Moshe is often aggressive and violent towards Tommy, and he brings other women into their bedroom. Tammy is trapped in an asymmetrical relationship of affection, dependence, and violence. She has no other social contacts and consequently becomes increasingly depressed. Eventually, she decides to escape her tormentor, but she repeatedly fails. Number 8. Heaven.
Met Sophie.
Is het een blijvertje dan?
Ik heb wel het idee, ja.
Met zijn vorige vriendin heeft hij het uitgemaakt vanwege de slechte seks.
A promiscuous young woman struggles with her emotions when the one man she cares deeply about, her equally restless father, finally finds true love. During her nightly escapades, Hemel searches for the difference between lust and love. Sometimes she leads, sometimes the men with whom she sleeps. The most important person in Hemel's life is Guise, her father, who works in an auction house. After the early passing of her mother, Hemel grew up with him alone. Just like Hemel, Guise is restless and isn't committed to anyone except for his daughter. This changes when Guise falls in love with the young auctioneer Sophie. Number 7. Out of Bounds. The story follows a young couple, Stella and Oscar, who travel to a remote, windswept island off the coast of Gotland to visit Stella's father, Nathan. Stella is pregnant and seeking a sense of stability and reconciliation with her past. However, the isolated setting quickly becomes a pressure cooker for psychological tension. Nathan is an artist who lives a solitary, rugged lifestyle, and his dominating, eccentric personality immediately clashes with Oscar's more reserved and sensitive nature. As the days pass, Nathan begins to subtly, and then overtly, provoke Oscar, testing his masculinity and his worthiness as a partner for Stella. Number 6. Julia's Secret.
Así que vos sos la hija de Víctor, el vecino. No te vi en el funeral.
No pude venir.
The story centers on Julia, a young woman who decides to return to her isolated childhood home in a rural area of Argentina following the death of her father. Her primary goal is to settle his affairs and sell the property, hoping to finally close a painful chapter of her life. Accompanied by her girlfriend Anna, Julia intends for the trip to be a quick, functional visit. However, the house itself acts as a gateway to suppressed trauma. It was within these walls that Julia, as she steps back into the environment where her childhood was stolen, the boundary between the past and the present begins to blur. Number 5. Shell. Set against the stark and hauntingly beautiful backdrop of the Scottish Highlands, Shell tells the story of a 17-year-old girl named Shell, Chloe Peary, who lives a solitary existence with her father, Pete, Joseph Mall. The pair operates a remote, struggling petrol station in a vast, windswept landscape where the silence is only occasionally broken by passing lorries or the few regular customers who stop for fuel. Having been abandoned by her mother at a young age, Shell's entire world is centered around the station and her father. Pete, a reclusive mechanic who suffers from epilepsy, relies heavily on Shell for both physical care and emotional grounding. However, their extreme isolation has created a complex and suffocating bond. Number 4. The Architect. Georg is a 58-year-old successful architect. When he learns by phone that his mother had died in his home village in the Alps, he initially did not inform his wife Eva about the death. Later, he drives her and his adult children Ray and John to the funeral in the car. He had not been to his home village for 20 years. He hides the secret of having an illegitimate son there. At the funeral, he tries not to show his restlessness. When the return trip is blocked due to the weather and the family cannot leave the village, the pastor Georg and his family ask for the will to be opened. His great love Hannah, an ex-teacher, and his illegitimate son Alex are also present. His mother used her grandson Alex as the sole heir. Number 3. Mickey and the Bear.
My brain's in there. Did you know that some days I can't even get him to eat?
Do you ever think about it?
It's April, and in the small town of Anaconda, Montana, headstrong teen Mickey Peck, Camila Morin, struggles to keep her widowed veteran father afloat while enduring his mood swings, opiate addiction, and the grief of losing her beloved wife. Mickey secretly dreams of attending a college on the West Coast, where she can finally live her life on her own terms. When Hank's directive and jealous behavior begins to destroy her, Mickey is forced to choose between family obligations and personal fulfillment, and is determined to sacrifice everything to become independent. Number 2. Before the Rooster Crows. Teenager Carmine's dream of moving to the city with her mother Doris vanishes when she moves to the U.S. with her new husband. Now she grows and lives in Barranquitas, a mountainous village in the center of Puerto Rico, with her grandmother, a tough and conservative woman. The arrival of her father Ruben after long years in prison eases her profound sadness. The relationship with him, however, brings its own ambiguousness and complexities. Now she must learn to live between abandonment and carefulness, amidst absence, desire, and love. Number 1. The War Zone.
He's out looking for you all night. Your mother hasn't had a decent night's sleep since the baby's been born, and you're on the fucking beach!
Suddenly, moody 15-year-old Tom and his 18-year-old sister Jessie find themselves relocated from the hustle and bustle of urban London to the sullen silence of windswept rural Devon, at a little but neat cottage in the middle of nowhere. Dad is caring and kind, and very much in love with Mum, who has just given birth. However, an accidental glimpse of a disturbing and well-hidden family secret brings Tom face to face with shock, denial, and ultimately rage. What mystery could be so appalling that it threatens to bring everyone in the family to their knees?